A lot of things from the French.
November, 1791. My dear sister, the cancellation of our reunion hit me like a stab to the heart. Father told me it was for your well-being, but I can't help but blame him. He claims that your condition has worsened and that it could be dangerous for both of us if we met. If only I knew where you were, believe me, I'd be at your side. I haven't received any news from you in a long time. Please write. Your loving sister, Abigail. P.S. I hope you like the enclosed talisman. Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear. It's a travel dress. The silk has been lightly waxed to protect it from bad weather. And I know the very woman who came up with the idea, given all the traveling she does. My mother.
Did my mother murder her?
Help us. Why did she come here in the first place? The material appears to have undergone abnormal wear and tear. She must have been scouring the countryside, and that doesn't look good.
Lots of clues. All right.
Vials of laudanum.
Yeah.
The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
I think I'm gonna have to use science. Let's science it. It's 3, but that's okay. I've got some royal
Large
jelly.
quantities could knock out a bull. Could Elizabeth have been drugged? If the body wounds are anything to go by, then clearly not. She put up a fierce fight.
Yeah. Got some royal jelly, so I'm maxed on my royal jelly. Might as well use it while I'm still maxed. Devil's Thorn. Now I'm maxed on my Devil's Thorn. Gotta use that.
The blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Interesting. There's a knife. They just left the... Sloppy. They just left the murder weapon behind. The blade.
The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
Okay. Still some things unlocked. That's locked to me because I don't have the skill.
A knocked over bottle of wine. Same thing Elizabeth served me last night. Still just as disgusting. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
Yeah. We already know that it's got, you know, the stuff in it. I don't know if I necessarily want to spend 3 science for it.
Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Good question. So Hannah says it looks a little obvious as a clue, though, as in the gun. Looks a little obvious as a clue, though. Could have been painted. It could have been, especially because it doesn't seem like the gun was fired anytime recently. Which is why I say that you could have easily, if the person was careful enough to, you know, leave a gun as a red herring, they could have also been clever enough to change the time on the clock. But I think the game wants us to assume that the time on the clock is actually the time of death or the murder. What exactly does laudanum do? It's an opiate, a drug that induces drowsiness and inebriation. She's got a lot of tattoos. Oh my, and her eyes are all bloodshot. So one thing that's very interesting that Hannah mentioned to me, because she was watching another Let's Play of episode 1. So my apologies, I'm trying not to spoil too much for episode 1 if you chose some of the different choices that I made. But it was really interesting because the person that she saw did not go to see Elizabeth at all. I'm sorry, the person that she did see Elizabeth Adams and did drink the beverage. He did drink the beverage, and the ending was vastly different from my ending. In that ending, Elizabeth ends up, what was it, Hannah? Did she pull a knife on you? Like, did she pull a knife on Louis and made it seem like she was going to kill Louis or like sacrifice Louis or something along those lines? Like she like attacks you or looks like she's about to attack you, and then that's how episode 1 ends. So that seems very vastly different, and I'm wondering, it's sounding like the beginning of this episode is a vastly different depending on the outcome of how things ended in the first. So I find that really, really interesting. Hannah says Louis loses consciousness and the scene fades to black on her holding a knife. That's really interesting. I'm wondering, I'm really curious how that would end up playing out. Would she still end up dead? I'm assuming she still ends up dead. I'm assuming. But I don't know. Examine the arm.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion.
Wow.
It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she might have. That unfortunately might have been self-inflicted. Analyze the scars. Meaning of scarring.
People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control.
Hannah, if you want to say in the chats what would have happened, how episode 2 would have started after the ending, feel free.
Scars are superficial and were made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life.
Examine the tattoos. This is really interesting. Occultism, erudition, translate the text.
Ancient Greek. Let's see what it means. These are sacred chants intended to protect their bearer. But from whom? Or from what?
Chants. The occult.
She had the Sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her. The symbol of the living God. Written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age. Unless her mother was a tutor.
Oh, interesting. So Hannah says during the conversation with her, you can tell her she's better off leaving the island. If you do that, Elizabeth is only missing, not dead, when episode 2 starts. That is vastly different. Wow. That is really cool how vastly different that is.
Symbol of Masons? What's that doing here?
Symbol of Masons. Living God.
Scarring. Ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts.
Yeah. Alright, well, I already did that. Return to the body. Examine the legs.
Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. more tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Sexual assault?
Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think so. Whoever did this to her, I don't think was interested in that. Examine the hands.
No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. This pinnacle's a trap. The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle.
Hmm.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull.
Nobody bashed her in the
The
head.
clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy.
Yeah.
Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that.
Yeah.
That's torture.
That is torture.
She also has old scars around the neck. Maybe mutilations.
Oh my goodness. This poor girl.
She bled from the nose. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Yeah. Examine her mouth.
What a strange smell.
What does it smell like? A smell common at the court of the king.
Laudanum. Certain courtiers use it to get drunk. If taken in large quantities, it can provoke fits of madness.
Yeah. I already know it's laudanum, so I don't know if I want to spend... Oh, I already made this.
It smells of alcohol and of laudanum. We'll use it to relieve
Okay, I already forgotten everything I need to know from that. And last but not least, the body.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax.
Good
with
lord.
A lot of blood. At first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Yeah. Examine the tattoos.
Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by.
Wow.
It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Wow. I don't know what that means. So, yeah, I mean, running out of... I gotta use all my skills to learn all this stuff, so...
The wounds are clean and look like they've been inflicted by a sharp object. Some of the lacerations have damaged vital organs. The heart, the right lung, which is perforated.
Yeah.
Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate.
Yeah. So is that... But is that the actual cause of her death? It looks likely that is what caused her death. Alright, I think that's everything. I should probably reload on Jelly, just in case. I think I looked at everything. I think. The only thing left is that box that I haven't been able to open yet, unfortunately. But I think I examined everything. We didn't learn that much, but hopefully enough to get by. Alright, sir.
Has Sir finished with this room?
For now.
enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Thank you. Like when I could get the key to that box. Alright, we're gonna continue our investigation.
President George Washington.
George Washington. Let's talk to you first, sir. Let us review. George Washington. Just so I remember. We have no idea what his weaknesses are. This might be a good time to use my Devil's Thorn. because I would love to find out what is. Ooh. Displays immunities. All right. Save that. Remember that there's a golden elixir in Washington's room. Etiquette says that I should not be exploring his quarters before actually talking to him, but, you know, my etiquette is not trained that well. Wow, Washington got a way better room than I did. I mean, not that I'm surprised. We won't go through Washington's things yet.
Portrait of George Washington.
Oh. Spitting image of him. Looks exactly like him. Oh good, we got more royal jelly. That's what I need. Lord George Washington. Let's go snoop through his stuff.
Looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Decipher the letter. Politics.
The English and the Americans are preparing a peace treaty. It would appear that Emily is in secret discussion with Washington about reopening trade between the United States and England. If such an arrangement came into being, France would suffer dearly.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place.
Ooh.
I have a project to share you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
William. Which William? Which William? Right, get myself ready for Washington. Hi, sir.
Greetings, Louis.
Hello.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
I'm curious. Let's use it. What is his alibi for last night?
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what you were doing last night so that I can strike your name off the list?
I spent the night right here, reading.
All night?
Exactly. Emily stopped by in the middle of the night, you can ask her. She wanted to talk about some business we have in common.
Anything whatsoever to do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines.
Anything else? Speak to him about the
Mr.
footprint.
President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
I don't think I actually learned anything from him.
Greetings, Louis.
Anything else? Does she know why there are no shedding the
Do
enemies?
you know if she had Any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened, and I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks.
I think that Devil's Thorn was not very useful, but it's okay.
Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
My lie don't have any
Yes,
logic.
Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed. I shan't keep you any longer, Mr.
All right,
President.
Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Oh yes. Well,
Thank you, Mr. President.
I will be relieving you of your golden elixir, sir. When when I need it. Let's see. That room is locked to me. How dare you?
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
I can't go into Piaggi. I thought I could go into anyone's room.
That's me.
I can't go into my own room.
Duke Manuel Godoy. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Yeah, I can talk to Emily. All right, let's talk to Emily.
Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. T.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
Says you can access all the rooms, can't actually look at all the rooms. Yeah. What's up with that? What's up with that, Lord Mortimer?
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds. Painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find them a husband. Displayed like meat. It's disgusting.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
Hello, Emily. I'm being rude. I'm looking at all your other stuff before I talk
A
to
letter
you.
from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers.
Not surprised.
Thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes with the King? I will personally see to it that our nation will recover from this impasse. But King George's mental situation is slowing down our decision-taking. Thank you in advance for all your help. William Pitt, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. 2 coils circle the lock.
Do they really want me to unlock it with her right there? But I guess her back. They at least made sure her back was turned to us. Still, that's really risky.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell. A letter from William Pitt the Elder addressed to Emily.
The Elder.
He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William,
Oh, that
I never thank
William.
you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately. For that, and as agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on, you'll be free from want. Yours sincerely, William Pitt, Count of Chatham.
Whoa, okay. Apparently I cannot search through that without my vigilance unlocked. Alright, Emily. If that is your real name. Ooh, she has golden elixir too, which I can't use. So many golden elixir. So little things, so little uses.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Yeah,
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you
what?
know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I am pretty snoopy.
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
Why do you want to... She's getting a little suspicious. Diversion. What is her, Let me just recap. Hillsborough, immune to logic. So diversion... Oh, I think I've used diversion against her before. Difficulty 3. Make her speak about the night of the murder. Have you found out anything? Make her speak about the night of the murder. This could be really important. It's using up 3 whole ones, though. I feel like I really need... this is tough. 3 whole points. I could use the water to take it for free. But I like to save those. There's 4 of them, though. Do I really want to use... I feel like I should. I feel like I should. I think this is a good time to use it. 3. Always good to use Caroline when it takes too many points. Yeah, I'll use it. I just don't want to use too much of it, but I have 3 left, so I think this is fine.
Since your arrival, did you notice anything strange about Elizabeth?
Everything that happened around that poor child was strange. You saw that for yourself.
I know. You're right. I'm looking for leads to try to reduce the number of suspects.
Well, I would say that in addition to ourselves, you could also cross off President Washington. I went to see him during the night. I had some business with him.
Business,
and I can
eh?
confirm that he didn't leave his room all night.
Really?
That gives Washington an alibi.
Okay.